I will give you guys one guess as to where I am right now. That's right, I'm back on Fjordur. I'm even wearing different armor. I've got a Sino on my shoulder, and I have 2 Sinos behind me busy breeding. Yeah, I'm actually starting this video way in advance because, my friends, in this video, in this episode, whenever it may or may not come out, I am going to be mutating the most beautiful Sinomacropses that you have ever seen. Of course, that is subjective, and it will be my opinion, and it will entirely depend on the colors we will be getting. But I need to tell you some things, I need to talk to you about some stuff. Before we do, though, if you are enjoying this episode in any point or time or whatever, do please go ahead, like, subscribe, comment down below. I really do appreciate it. So, let's get into the dirty, shall we? Yeah. I've got here 3 Sinos, alright? It is the same 3 Sinos that we tamed up a couple of episodes ago. Can't remember exactly when, but we only tamed up the 3. Sino number 3 here, the very last one we tamed, I think was the highest level, a 145, and I've been using this one for the most part as my reserve because it's a high level male, and so was Sino number 1 was also a high level male. So since I had the 2 high levels, he's kind of expendable. Now, these 2 are currently taming, Sino 1 and Sino 2, my only female. And I should say, the female, yeah, she has no good stats. None whatsoever. Not even a single one. No. The health, weight, melee are all coming off of the very first Sino we tamed. And we need the stamina off of the the last Sino we tamed. So right now I'm busy just basically trying to get a duplicate of this guy, but as female, so that I can breed that new female with this guy and get the stamina onto that. Once I've got that, once I've got technically the perfect types with the same stats, it's not very important, right? I'm not breeding Sinos to have amazing stats. I'm breeding Sinos to look incredible. They are not fighters, they are utility creatures. So they don't have to be amazing, they just need to look great. Because I love things that look great. So, yeah, but I'm gonna do it. I'm busy with it. I might as well. Yeah, so first off, we're going to combine all of those stats, get the perfect Sinos ready, and then I'm gonna have like 1 male and 50,000 females around it, and I'm just gonna breed for all of those mutations. I don't care what stat it's gonna fall on, I just want the colors, all of them. And I will be categorizing my colors according to the color region that they fall on for all 6. I think Sinos use all 6 color regions, but I will confirm that when I start, when I think I might have enough colors to start combining. For now though, we've got only about 14 eggs, and yeah, only about 14 eggs so far. So we're gonna keep going for quite a while, and we're just gonna see how many we get. So a short while later, I've got 69. Nice. Although not really, it's like 67. Baby Sinomacrops hatched out and kept in this little soul terminal thingamajig. And basically what I need, these are not yet the perfect ones, right? This is still just the first and the second ones being bred together. I now have, what I need is everything except for stamina and movement to be the male stats at this point into a female, because the stamina and the movement are coming from the other one, so they don't matter if they are male or female stats. I don't care at this point, but I don't have that. What I do have is a female that actually has all of the male stats, which is fine. I don't mind that, because the movement and the stamina, which are not the good stats that I want here, are going to be replaced in any case. So I'm going to pull that one out, and we can go ahead and, do with all of the others. And now at this point, I can go ahead and pick up both of those. And on my back, I have that one, which is now Sino number 3, and we can throw out this one. Oh, they're so tiny. Oh my word, they are so tiny. What? Ow, oh, it's adorable. That's my favorite thing on Ark. How did you turn off all the text? Backspace? There you go. Oh, I want that. Well, I have that, but I want that in a nice color too. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and hitch both of those guys, and we're gonna go ahead and say wander and wander, and they will eventually, once that one is grown up, breed together, and we'll do the whole thing again. And now we're looking for all of these stats except for stamina and movement, and then this one's stamina and movement onto that. Does that make sense? Am I talking gibberish? I never know if I'm talking gibberish. This is very technical stuff. Anyway, yeah, let's turn off this generator, rather get eggs going in there, and yeah, I will bring you guys back as soon as, well, I've got an update for you. So I've done some math. I know, more math, I'm sorry. What I'm looking for, combining 1 and 2, plus then the third one now, all I'm looking for is the stamina and the movement speed. So if you take, in this instance, right, this guy over here, yeah, he has the melee that is incorrect as well, because that is the I need the female's melee, not the male's melee. That needs to be pink, not blue. It has a -2 in red. So if I add 2 to its level, 209 is where I want to be. And then I actually have one, which has all pink, so all female stats except for stamina and movement, which is what I'm looking for. So that Sino right there has the perfect stats. That's perfect. That's all I need. So that is then empty, and it is a male, which means I need to pick up this guy. Let's just make sure that your wandering is off. Yep. Pick up Sino number 3, and then this is our such a tiny little dude, the stat male. It is not a perfect male because their colors don't necessarily match 100%, but it is a stat male because all of the stats are correct. So these two need to breed together for a little while until I can get, wrong gun, until I can get Sinos, males and females, that all have the same stats and the same colors, and then we can start the mutation process. Happy days, we're making progress and we are getting there, slowly but surely. Let's go ahead and check in on our Sinos in here. I've by the way put Sino 3, the one that I've leveled up a bit, back on my shoulders. I'm using him to go back and forth as I do chores. I mean, you all saw the Thyla video, right? A couple episodes back. If you haven't, go check it out. I explained the breeding process pretty well in there. Yeah, so while I'm breeding like this, I do chores around the base, make kibble, get resources, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so these two, I actually got a stat male and a stat female now. They've been breeding. They actually don't have identical colors. Whoa, hi. Even though they may look very similar, they've got, I think, 2 of their color regions that don't match. So, that means that they are not perfect. They've been breeding, and I've got a couple more eggs in here. Now, basically, all I need is something that has all of the male's colors or all of the female's colors. These already have exactly the same stats. They have identical stats. I'm now just looking for colors, right? So let's see if I turn that guy on. That egg over there should hatch. Yep, and get picked up. And then we can throw all of these. Oh, by the way, this is a feature of Dino Storage. The same thing that gives me these soul balls, the soul traps that I use instead of cryopods. It also gives you the soul terminal. which has a couple of neat features. Options automation. You can say fertilized egg collection and fertilized egg incubation. Now, there are a bunch of different things that they can do. I don't use any of the others ever because, like, miscellaneous poop generation or beetle convert poop, sheep wool generation, and queen... all of that seems way too overpowered for me. I'd rather not use it. I just use the functions that can kind of replace, like, the S+ hatchery and in the incubator, which is already in the game. Anyway, so let's hatch out all of these eggs. And I've just got the air cons, so throw them out, the air cons, give them the perfect temperature. None in that one? Oh, okay. And then they get picked up by this guy. You two need to stop doing what you're doing. Stop, okay. And then, I think the easiest, yeah, see, there we go. The easiest is just to get a male that has all of the female stats and all of the females colored. Are you two still mating? No, I told you. Oh, I know what I did. I'm busy making kibble with the Deinonychus, and I use mating on them, but wandering on these guys. Okay, are you done now? You're not mating? Okay, cool. Where was I? Oh, the easiest is probably gonna be to get a male that has all of the female stats and all of the female colors. Reason being, all of these have female stats. You can see they all have pink stats. For whatever reason, the babies, if both parents have identical stats and identical colors, will always inherit their colors and their stats from their mother. I don't know why, that's just how it works. So, you could go ahead and look for a female like that one, which has a color encircled in blue. There's another color region there that's also blue. I don't know exactly which one. It is easier to just go and say a male that has all of the female colors, like that one, and then we replace our stat male with this one, which is then identical to our female, and then all of a sudden we have a perfect mating pair. And it's that simple. I know. And then, mutations. I know, right? So, just like with the Thyla breeding, we have a couple of things happening here. First off, I have made a backup perfect male and a backup perfect female. And as usual, these two are going to go into a box, and we are going to forget about them, hopefully, forever. You know, they are in for emergencies, and if things go horribly wrong, then we will use them. If not, then so be it. And hopefully we will only need to use them in case of emergencies if, like, my whole breeding flock just dies out. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but you never know. So, what do I have here? I currently have a perfect male and a perfect female 1. This perfect female 1 was the stat female, if you remember, like a couple minutes ago. To you it's minutes, to me it's like nearly an hour. I've been doing things. Anyway, yes, so perfect male, perfect female 1. And then here we've got perfect female 2 through 12. Right? I don't know how many of these I'm going to be able to get into range, but you can stack them fairly close to one another. So, I've got 12 females arranged here. I don't know if all of them are going to be able to reach. Honestly, if they are, then this male is incredibly talented, because damn. For his size, obviously. So, they are all currently set to wander and are hitched to this S+ hitching post. So they won't go anywhere, but game mechanics wise, they are technically now wandering in inverted comma things. which means that they are eligible to begin mating. Now, if I throw the male out, and I'm going to just throw him there, smack bang in the middle, and we're going to hitch our perfect male. In theory, if I hit him and activate Wandering... Okay, it looks like everyone except for the corners. The corners aren't reaching. Damn. Okay. So with this kind of configuration, it looks like 8 is the most I can get. I could probably try a different configuration, but I think I'm gonna be happy with the 8 that I have. And we're just gonna go with that. It is worth noting, my friends, that at this point, my mutating process is going to differ quite a bit from the Thyla mutating. In the Thyla mutations, I was looking for specific stat mutations. Whereas with these guys, I am going to be keeping every single mutation I get. Because I'm going for colors. I don't care what stat they fall on, I don't care what region it's on, I just want all the colors on all the regions, as many as possible. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for. So these things are going to be filling up quite quickly, and I can actually, while we talk, disable my corners because they are not doing anything, and pick them up. See, now I've done something. I've tried to multitask, and now I've completely forgotten what I was doing. What I was saying. What was I saying?
Nice.
Oh, yes. I'm gonna get a whole lot of eggs in these 3. And then when I've got just an absolute crap ton, I can probably let them go until they're all almost full. Almost full because I don't want there to be an overflow and then an explosion, and that would be bad and make my game crash. Anyway, and then hatch them all and sift out for mutations, keep them, and here, those 6, I am thirsty again. Those 6 are there for me to keep, like, dedicated stat mutations. So they aren't relevant in this mutation stack. These 6, on the other hand, represent one of the 6 color regions that every dino can potentially get a color mutation on. Even if a dino does not have a does not use a specific color region, it can still get a color mutation on that region. It sucks, I know. Quick correction, that's actually not how it works. Dinos cannot get color mutations in regions that they do not have colors present. I learned that the hard way by mutating Sinos and Thylas at this point. Anyway, and I am going to, as I get mutations, just organize them according to color region. And once I have an astronomical amount of mutations in each color region, then you can go ahead and sift through those colors and actually see what kind of combinations we can come up with. Yeah! And then in, I don't know, half an hour's time or so, it is getting necessary to kind of stop them. These things make such weird noises. Oh my word. Anyway, stop them from breeding because that one has 245 out of 300. That one has 300 out of 300, and that one has 300 out of 300. We have nearly 900 Sino eggs already. And of those, I can guarantee you we're going to have some mutations. So, what I need to do then are these eggs, there we go, they just got picked up. So what I need to do then is turn on my generator. And the reason I leave the generator off mostly is because I don't want to go and craft up enough soul balls. I've got extra, but I don't want to go and craft up more to just fill all of these with the little soul balls so that they can all hatch alive, like so that they can hatch and be picked up. I'd rather just keep it to 1 and then in my own time come through and hatch like 50 of these at a time until my FPS starts dropping like it did just now, down to 8. Excellent. And then those 55 all get picked up, and we end up with 70. So there were a couple of twins, maybe even triplets there, of which, mind you, like with the Thylas, right? These guys are all the same level, 209. So any mutation on top of that will add 2 levels. So I can come in and I can say 211. And these guys all have a mutation. Now, again, I'm deviating from what I did with the Thylas in that I'm not necessarily looking for any specific stats here. I don't care about the stats. I literally just want good colors out of these guys. So I am going to take 211, every single one of these Sinos that have color mutations, and I am going to collect them and sort them into these color boxes like I've already explained. And then at the end, when I've got hundreds of each color region, then I'll come back and I will compare and I'll figure out which colors look nice, which colors do I think would go nice, like would go well together. And yeah, so let me just go through. I need to hatch out all of these. And it is fairly important if you are using the Dino Storage mod and doing it like this way and you are hatching in mass, if you've only got like one of these set up, or even if you have 20 of these set up to be collecting newborns for you, never hatch more than you have capacity to collect. That is how, I wasn't rendered there for a second, that is how you cause baby explosions and you just have like 50 babies all crammed into one entity space. Your FPS will drop, chances are your game will crash. No one's graphics cards or CPUs or thingamajigs are good enough to run that. So just, watch that number. If that gets close to 300, then it's time to start sifting through it, empty it out, and then keep going. Right? Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do now. I've got another 600, 750 odd eggs to hatch just in this batch, and let's see how many mutations we get. This is the last batch of eggs from that first nearly 900 batch of eggs. So these 3 egg collectors are now all empty. And this one I can now say 211 again, and I'm just going to grab all of those that are mutated and we're going to destroy the rest. And we've got, and I had 300 and 150 in there, which means I got about 68 mutations out of that. And I've got all of those mutations in my inventory right now. So now I'm just going to run up over to this guy and we're going to go through, and every one of these guys that has a mutation on their first color region, I'm going to throw into this box. And then with the second color region, like that guy, would go into the second box. And so on and so forth until I've gone through all 68 of these Sinos. Oh, and before I forget, I can actually, while I do this, set you to wander again and they can just keep going. I need to... Yeah, see, that's why the generator needs to be off. Because they just all got picked up by this one, which is not what I wanted. Any of them got mutations? No. Okay. We're gonna destroy them all. We don't want them. Yeah, because I could now go in and replace that male with one of the mutated ones. But I really don't need to. I'm just gonna keep it like that. That's the same setup we're gonna use for the whole thing throughout. Because I just want the nice colors. I don't care about the stats. I feel like I've said that a lot in this video. And while I do this, sort through all of the Sinos, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. And yeah, there are doubles or triples that have the same colors. That's fine. I'll sift through all of that when I get to the point of wanting to actually, decide on colors. At that point, I'll go through and really see which ones are duplicates, which ones are worth keeping, which ones are not, so on and so forth. So this is me for a while. Yeah. I'll bring you guys back, I think, when, things get interesting, or if anything weird were to happen. like they were all to spontaneously combust. You never know. Arc does weird things sometimes. My friends, I have derp. That very thing that I said not to do, I did it. I didn't empty this thing out before I started hatching more, and now they are, well, they're destroying my PC. Oh yeah, okay, I can kinda get them. Some of them. Any more? Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, there's our heads. I'm just kind of shooting blindly, hoping that I can pick some up. My FPS is coming up, so that's an improvement. I think I got them all. Okay, so all of them that are adult are the ones that were not supposed to be there. Oops. Throw them in there. 211. And 3 of them actually had mutations, so cool. This time, let's go ahead and destroy all of those. Give me my stuff back and that. Alright, now I can continue. A quick progress update. I am still fervently busy breeding Sinomacrops eggs, and I can show you here that I have about 38, 27, 29, 28, 25-ish. So mid to high 20s average on all 5 of the relevant color regions. However, yeah, over my right shoulder, to the left of the screen, yeah. I've doubled my egg output. I have decided that this is taking too long. I want hundreds of every color region. So I've doubled that. And now we are cooking with gas. I've got a lot more eggs coming. And hopefully, well, we'll have very beautiful, stylish, fashionable, adorable Sinomacropses in no time. What is actually a couple of days later, as I've been working on this video in between a whole bunch of others, I've got, I think, what is going to be my very last batch of mutated Sinomacrops, which leaves me with well over 100 Sinomacrops for each of the 5 independent color regions. I have a total of 595 Sinos in these containers, and that's a lot. Yeah, if you're breeding for stat mutations, it's easy. There's no questioning what you get. If you get a melee mutation, great, you're happy, you go, you replace it, you keep moving. Colors are hard, my friends. They make life so much harder, so much more difficult, and I can never make up my mind. So let's familiarize ourselves with the color regions that the Sinos have. Color region 0 looks like it's this face and shoulders and most of the wing, the top of the wing kind of thing. That looks like probably the most prominent of the Sinos colors. Region 1 is the underside and the inside of the wings, the primary one. Then we jump out to the stomach and another of the outside colors. Color region number 4, as far as I can tell, only has a couple of really little blotches on the inside of the wing, nothing on the outside. So I think we're good on that one. And then we have color region 5, which is also on the outside. This is the back and the arms, primarily a little bit of the tail. So how do I go about choosing some colors for these guys? Well, I started with the first color region with 0. And, well, I currently have a lot of Sinos out for us to look at. But on color region 0, I just went through and I chose a bunch of colors that I thought looked nice. And I eventually came across something like this, which is a nice, rich, almost azure blue color. I believe that's a color of blue. Anyway, which sparked a bit of an idea. If I go all of the external colors, because color region 0, 3, and 5 are all external colors, and then color region 1 and 4 are underside of the wings. So on the 3 external colors, I'm thinking a cool color palette, blues and whites and frosty kind of thing. So I chose some whites Some lighter blues, that's another very rich one. But maybe something like this, or even this, which is I think the glacial blue with this one. Could look quite nice. I also have on the very last one, I decided to go for a slightly darker one. So we've got a very dark navy. That I think is basically black. Dark field, another navy. And we do blues on the outside. On the insides, we then go for some reds. So here we've got the primary internal wing colors, and they're all reds. This one's a very nice orange. I like this one a lot. And with the accents, maybe if I can find them, they're a bit harder to see. Nice bright yellow. Every time they flare their wings, you get this cold external and a warm, like fiery flare on the inside of their wings. But that's a lot of breeding that I still need to do, so I need to get to work. A long time later, the colors I ended up going with for Region 0 was in fact this cerulean rich blue. For Region 3, which is the outside of the wings and the stomach, I went for this glacial, almost purple blue, which I believe is the lightest discernible blue you can get before they just become white. For the back and the arms, I actually went for a dark gray to black. I think that would accent or make the transition quite nice. Internally, I went for that very rich yellow-orange that we saw earlier, and I didn't find any nice yellows, but this one, you can't really see it, has the darker red on the highlights on the inside of those wings. And these are the 5 that I ended up breeding together. I started by breeding the external colors together and the internal colors together, and I got these 2 little Sinos out here, which is an external combination. Here you can see that that gray actually goes very nicely with the rich blue and contrasts the very light blue nicely. This one harder to see, but it has both of the internal wing colors that I really like. Combined those guys and eventually got a perfect set with 1 male and 2 females that have now provided me with a bunch of spares. So here we have 3 males, 3 females. Males named Pablo, females named Doodle. I really like the names. And I've got some spares and 1 set I'm actually going to take to the Lost Island the next time I go back there. And they're just going to stay there. And that's kind of a pair of dinos that I don't need to worry about transferring back and forth in. 1 more item slot that I don't need to consume. Let me show you guys what they look like. First off, we can go ahead and throw that one out. And this is still the original 3rd Sino that we tamed way back. I think it might be getting very close to its max level at this point. Just for those who are curious, this guy has around 3000 health at this point, 342 weight. If these guys get imprinted, they're still drastically lower, but I have a feeling that if we level them, they'll catch up quite quickly. So there we go, a very adorable, lovely, beautiful colored. I like the external colors. They are cool, but almost subtle in a way. And if I were to... That's the wrong emote. Why does it keep resetting itself? I want it to be that. Let's go ahead and flare its wings. There you go, a nice external view. Unfortunately, it then needs to recharge. So let's pick up another one to show you guys the internal colors that they have. Why does the emote keep resetting? That's annoying. Okay, there you go. Nice bright orange red. I like that a lot. I think that'll scare off all the nasty little critters. And now, well, first off, I need to clean up some of these Sinos, but we have a brand new, lovely little Sinomacrops to fly around with and to keep as a shoulder pet. These guys are really, really handy, given that they actually reduce the weight of things you put in their inventory by a quarter. Most other shoulder pets only do a half and plummet straight back down. I hate it when they do that. But that is, I think, where we're gonna call it an episode, and I absolutely love how silly these things are with the emote mod. I mean, what on earth is going on with this little Sino? I think I can even do that one? Yup, there we go. Now that is exiting an episode in style. My friends, if you've enjoyed it, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all the wonderful things, and until next time, have an absolutely... Where'd I go? Brilliant one. And slowly flapping back upwards.